Well, today, Alzheimer's disease is at the forefront of biomedical research, with scientists working to uncover as many aspects of the disease as possible.
The hope is that the research will create a better understanding of the disease and will lead to new treatment options for patients. Alzheimer's disease is our big story today.
According to the Alzheimer's Association, this disease is a type of dementia that affects your memory, your thinking, and of course your behavior. Symptoms of Alzheimer's can eventually grow so severe that it can interfere with an individual's daily tasks. Right now, nearly 7 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, and by 2050, that number expected to jump to nearly 13 million people. Here in Ohio, the Alzheimer's Association says 220,000 Ohioans aged 65 and older are living with the disease. And by 2050, that number is expected to rise to 250,000.
Almost 2/3 of Americans living with Alzheimer's are women. There are a number of potential biological and social reasons why more women than men have Alzheimer's or other dementias. The most frequent view has been that this difference is due to the fact that women live longer than men on average, and older age is the greatest risk factor for Alzheimer's. According to the National Alzheimer's Association, researchers are now questioning whether the risk of Alzheimer's could actually be higher for women at any given age due to biological or genetic variations or differences in life experiences.
Meanwhile, researchers believe that many risk factors play a role here in causing Alzheimer's and other dementias. That includes not only genetics, but your behaviors and your habits. Recently, 2 risk factors for Alzheimer's were identified. The first is vision loss. The other is high LDL cholesterol. And while some risk factors, such as age and family history, may be influenced, there are other risk factors that can be changed to potentially reduce a person's risk of cognitive decline. Experts say that healthy living and a management of health conditions can reduce your risk of getting that disease.
In the century since Alzheimer's was first diagnosed, scientists have made remarkable strides in understanding this disease. So far, experts have done research into earlier diagnosis and prevention, and scientists have also opened the door to clinical trials and brain donations to further studies. However, there is still an increasing demand for more research to be done. And some of that research is getting done right here in Toledo.
As we first reported last month, the University of Toledo has received a multi-million-dollar grant from the National Institute on Aging. 13 Action News reporter Lisa Guyton spoke with the man heading up that U Toledo research. She joins us live with the story. Lisa?
Tina and Tony, the nearly $4 million grant will be used to study the mechanisms of Alzheimer's. The hope is that the research done right here in Toledo will one day help unlock the mysteries of the brain disease. Dr. Robert Smith is the chair of the Department of Neurosciences and Psychiatry at the University of Toledo College of Medicine. He says there have been about 100 supervised clinical trials done worldwide over the last 20 years, and that the vast majority of them have failed. Dr. Smith adds that while some of the more recent studies and clinical trials for Alzheimer's have shown promise, there is still an incredible amount of work to be done when it comes to finding a cure. He says what's unique about the UT research is that they don't have a specific hypothesis. Instead, they will be focused on working to come up with new concepts for deeper study.
It's really exciting to be a part of the frontier that feels like a final frontier kind of in medicine, particularly the way we study it. No one else in the world kind of looks at the functional proteome the way we do it here in Toledo. And that's why NIA really liked the grant, because we were looking at Alzheimer's in a way that no one else in the world is looking at it, a different lens, completely unique.
The grant money will be spread out over 5 years. It will be used for things including processing and analyzing samples. Researchers at UT will be using post-mortem brain samples from people with normal cognitive function, mild cognitive impairment, as well as people with Alzheimer's. And then they'll study the molecular changes. We'll share much more of my conversation with Dr. Smith coming up tonight at 5:30. Tony?
Lisa Guyton reporting live for us this afternoon. In Toledo this weekend, the Alzheimer's Association Northwest Ohio chapter will host an event to raise awareness and funding for Alzheimer's care, support, and research programs. It's the Walk to End Alzheimer's, happening Saturday at 9 in the morning at the Glass City Metro Park on Front Street. This event will support local programs and services that help families who are facing the disease today. It also supports research to drive advancements that give these families more time through treatments. This year's fundraising goal is $280,000. 13 Action News' Christina Williams will be there to MC the event.
And of course, we'll continue to cover the developments in Alzheimer's research. You can stay up to date by downloading the 13 Action News app. It's available as a free download in your phone's app store.